The last time we talked, we were exploring the special function of saptami in the grammar. Tasmin iti nirdishte purvasya. Tasmin iti nirdishte purvasya. Today we're going to talk about the almost the other side of the coin in terms of the special use of panchami. But let's just quickly go over saptami again. Tasmin iti nirdishte purvasya. Tasmin iti nirdishte purvasya. And as we used before, let's think again. Just look at, if I can do it without making it awful. The example, iko yanachi, ikaha yan achi. Or, as it's often construed, achi pare ikahastane yan. Achi pare ikahastane yan. And the example we gave was Suddhi Upasya. Suddhi Upasya. Now, one of the things that I find interesting is that it's almost a little confusing that this is traditionally glossed as achipare, because the actual meaning is that the one in saptami pertains to the one that precedes it. It's almost a little confusing that we take that to mean when the one that is preceded, the one that follows the one that is preceded, and so on. Anyway, if you think about this actual function, ikoyanechi, and we say achipare, but I think that's just a way of describing it, because in fact what's happening is ikahastane, all of the action is occurring in the ik, the one preceding the ach. So indeed, even though we say achi pare, and that is a little bit confusing, potentially, in fact, what's actually happening is not that the ach follows, but that the one that precedes the ach, namely the ik, is the one that is involved. That's the one that is replaced by yan. And so I don't know if that helps clarify it, but I find that a little bit interesting myself. So today we are going to do this again, sort of the flip side of tasmin niti nirdishte purvasya. And as again, these are hugely, they're like basic grammar of the grammar. It's all over the place. And it is less maybe striking than shashti, because shashti drives replacement. But these are very important in directing the replacement. So tasmadityuttarasya, 1167, 41 in Siddhanta Comedy. Tasmat iti uttarasya. Tasmat iti uttarasya. Tasmat, just as tasmin was saptami of tad, meaning the saptami vibhakti. Tasmat is panchami of tad, and it gives the sense of the panchami vibhakti. And again, there's the iti that some scholars are, I don't know, puzzled by, I guess, but it just seems intuitively makes sense to me that it would be phrased as, okay, when saptami is there as saptami, or panchami is there as panchami, then nirdishte, when there is employment of that, then uttarasya in this case. So the full sutra we would say, and again, uttarasya is shashti of uttara, with the sense of pertaining to the one that follows, just as purvasya was pertaining to the one that precedes. in that case the ik. So here we have uttarasya pertaining to the one that follows. So the structure of the gloss of the sutra would be tasmat iti nirdishte, and that's anuvartihi really. Uttarasya pertains to the one that follows. So when in an injunction, nirdishte, which is, as you recall, essentially the locative absolute, function of saptami in that case, nirdishte, uttarasya. And again, here, shashti is in the meaning of one that pertains to a group. And that's so just as the locative absolute function is a normal, outside the grammar world function of saptami, this is also a normal, outside the grammar world function or meaning of shashti, of which there are many. And we will get to that in Karaka when we get to Karaka. Cool. So, again, tasmad iti uttarasya, tasmat iti uttarasya, tasmat iti nirdishte uttarasya. When in an injunction, a word is employed, panchami, as panchami, the injunction pertains to the one that follows it. So, we have an example. It is related to a sutra, 8461 or 118 in Siddhanta Kaumudi. Udasta stambov purvasya. Udasta stambov purvasya. Udaha is panchami of ud. Udaha is panchami of ud, and has the sense of the one that follows ut. The one that follows ut. So here we have udaha parayoho stastamboho stane purvasya savarnaha syat. That's filling it in with anuvritihi and adyahara. So the meaning is, in place of sta or stamb that follow ud, so follow ud, the savarna of the preceding one comes. The savarna of the preceding one comes. So if we have the example of ud plus tanam, so in place of stamb, or sta, in this case, in place of sta, which is following ut, then the savarna of the preceding one comes. The savarna of the preceding one comes. So here we have ut in panchami, and by tasmadi tuttarasya, the injunction pertains to the one that follows it. So udaha is panchami of ud. So the injunction pertains to the one that follows it. In this case, it's sta. Ut sta nam. So here we have ut, and it is the following one, which is the beginning of sta. The of sta is replaced by the savarna of d, which leaves tanam, and that's not the final form. Also, we can point out here something that we have discussed in detail. What is that? This is an example of adev parasya. Adev parasya. So a replacement shall come in place of the first of one that follows. Adev parasya, which, as we know, is an exemption to the general rule alontyasya. Alontyasya. So shashtistane yoga, alontyasya, you could say, is the basic rule. It comes in place of the last. But since here, by definition of tasmadi uttarasya, here ut being followed by s, the replacement comes in place of the first of the following one, which is So there you go. Thank you.